And with Richard Clifford. Hi Richard, can you tell me basically about the 3D printing format?
Yeah, well what we've got behind us here are two of the sort of entry-level machines to 3D printing, and they allow people to use plastic polymers to create prototypes or to imagine a design as a real thing.
And it shows some of the examples here.
Here you've got some basic things that can be either created as little sort of ornaments, so you could design something like a pencil pot in this instance. Or that technology can be scaled up to create working prototypes, like this handle prototype for a flask.
Sure.
Or actually we apply them to medical applications a lot as well. So we work with a lot of the universities to prototype components that are either prosthesis, medical replacement parts, or indeed prototypes for heart valves and stuff.
Fantastic. You even do coffee cups apparently.
Yeah,
there you go, there's an example there. You'll explain to us about the machine right here then, and all the different materials.
So what you can see here is that we have a spool of material which starts off as a solid in a sort of filament format.
Sure.
And it's then pulled into the machine and heated, and then that heated layer of material is then laid down in layers. All those layers stick to the one below, and then that forms our 3D object just by stacking each layer on top of it. As the material solidifies and then forms a solid object.
So how long does it take, for instance? How long does it?
A simple thing like the pencil pot might take about 4 hours, but that's completely unmanned, just left to finish its task.
And you were showing earlier this device here which can actually take 3D images of people, so you can actually provide almost like a 3D model.
Yeah, so this is a 3D scanner. This is one of the handheld models. And by hooking this up to a tablet computer or a laptop, we can move it around an object and record that object in 3D. And it also has all the textures and the colours as well. So, like you may have seen, Asda, for example, can print a 3D version of you, which is full colour. This is the type of device we would use.
And how does it actually work?
It fires out an invisible laser from here, which is a non-harmful laser, and bounces off you and comes back, so it knows how far away each part of you is, and it also photographs you with this high definition camera at the bottom, and then it stitches all of those parts of you together and gives us a 3D model on screen. Okay,
so what's your involvement pretty much with the 3D printing? What's your kind of role, as it were?
So we're from a company called MacLab, which is currently based in Glasgow and has various sites across Scotland, and we provide access to the equipment for everyone. Sure. So we have all the equipment that you might need access to, and we give you that access at very, very low cost.
And one of the things I was quite intrigued in was this the gold, silver and bronze. Explain about that and the colouring and everything that's involved in that.
So these three components here are bronze, silver and gold, and these, believe it or not, are all 3D printed as well. Instead of being melted and built up in layers, the way this happens is by a laser cooking each sort of slice of a bed of powder of this material, and then they build up, those layers again build up and then give us a solid object, which in this case are 3 components of bronze, silver and gold.
Wow, Rolex watches eat your heart out here. So what would you say now is the future? What's the next step? What do you visualise in the next 10 years?
I think increasingly so people will have access to these technologies to be able to print replacement parts. So for example, a part on your Hoover might break. Instead of buying that from a shop or buying it online, you may actually be able to access that information and print it somewhere, not necessarily in your own home, but maybe at your local library, at your local community centre, or at a resource that's provided for you with all these technologies.
Fantastic. And in terms of the question which we've been intrigued by is, can this printing technology, 3D printing technology, this is real sci-fi stuff, can it actually print itself?
We're very, very close. The components of the machines can be printed by the machine. So if you need a replacement sort of head to hold something, or a replacement side, for example, the machine can reproduce that. It can't then assemble it. So it still involves us, fortunately, to assemble it. But the technologies are there that they can start reproducing components of themselves. Fortunately, still with human control. That's
really, the Cybermen are still quite far off. Okay, Richard, thank you very much for your help. Thank you for visiting West Kilbride.